And what's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. It is your friend Cheap Ludes. How are you doing this afternoon? I hope you are doing well. Look, I was going to stream later, but I actually have stuff to do, so I can't stream, so I apologize. My bad. You're not going to be seeing me on Twitch today. Don't worry. You'll see me tomorrow. I'll be popping off on Twitch, probably mad about something, I'm sure. Who knows? I did do a video on the actual huge patch that we received. Just to kind of clarify some stuff that I didn't talk about in that video. AFK or player lock has only been removed from Unlimited. It hasn't been removed from anything else, so you're still able to use player lock in all offline stuff, and I believe, not sure 100% because nobody really does it, but I believe you're still able to do it in other online modes. It's just from Unlimited. It could be taken out of all online. I'm not sure. I'll go ahead and test it out, and I'll let you guys know tomorrow just to see what's going on. But I know for a fact you can still use it in offline. So if you're somebody who likes to use it for domination or clutch time offline or triple threat, like it still works in offline. So it's all good there. Other than that, majority of the large patch was getting ready for season 3 of my team and player likeness updates. So it's just like a bunch of random dudes got player likeness updates. Like Mark Price got one. Guys that we have specifically, like Mark Price for sure. I know he got one. Who else? Wait, where was Mark Price? I think he was like a season reward, I believe. I could be wrong about that, but like, yeah, it looks like he's a season reward. So we just got a bunch of kind of random older guys that got player likenesses. The only ones that we have are like Mark Price, and then there's a couple of dudes from like the season 1 and season 2 set that ended up getting some, like I think like Michael Cage got one, like random dudes like that. So it's nothing really consequential, but I did want to bring it up. So the point of this video specifically is I've had a lot of people bring this up to me. Are these packs worth it? Specifically these two. Now it's a bit of a convoluted question because in some ways yes, in some ways no. So let's kind of go over that in general. So there is obviously an unauctionable one, which will give you a pink diamond guaranteed for 50k, and then an auctionable one that'll give you a random pink diamond for 100k. Now the question is this worth the VC amount? Now, yes and no, right? If you are doing this to improve your team, so obviously you would be going for the unauctionable one at that point. Really, I mean, it's probably the smartest bet, because by the time, if you're improving your team with one of these PDs, from an MT standpoint, it's not really worth it. You know, if you're going to use them for a few hits and then try to sell them, it's probably not like that worth it unless you pull like a very high tier one, and even then they're going to lose significant value. From an upgrading your team perspective, I would say no. The reason I would say no is because outside of getting DeMar DeRozan, who will allow you to much more easily lock in for Tim Thomas, and maybe Kobe Bryant, who I still think is really good and will be good for a while, and maybe like Hakeem or Dwight Howard, Penny too, to a certain extent. I feel like a lot of these guys, although will still be usable, you know, into season 3, where we're going to be getting consistent ovals, pink diamond rewards all the time, stuff like that, they will still be usable, but I think that it's not necessarily worthwhile to use your VC on this. Granted, they are guaranteed, but you could just as easily, I mean, people have been saying they're souped all day, but who knows? You know what I mean? I don't trust when I see that stuff on Twitter, because I have horrible luck, and I'm sure I'll end up getting Wilt, Zion, like Chris Middleton, Draymond, Dame. You know, I have horrible luck, so I don't know. Now, if you're doing this from an MT perspective, I mean, a lot of these cards are down across the board. You could still make some MT on it, but I mean, I don't necessarily think it's a really good idea to try to rip these packs open to try to gather MT. Yes, you're guaranteed a pink diamond, so you're guaranteed at least like a very low set amount of MT. Because I mean, even if we look at like who is going to be the cheapest out of all of these guys, probably like Dame and Wilt. Even like Dame will still net you like a decent amount of MT. I don't think anyone's picking him up for 100k, so he's probably going to end up being a buyout, but you're basically trading 100k VC at that point for 100k MT if you pulled Dame. So there is some MT making possibilities here, even if you're pulling some of the lower on the spectrum pink diamonds, but it's not without risk. I mean, Wilt's 100k. Yes, you're going to get 100k 90 after the 10% is taken off, so you're trading 100k VC for 90k MT, which is not a good trade-off in my opinion. It's better than opening packs and gambling with it because, like, you never really know what's going to come from those. But it looks like some of the higher dropped cards are like Kawhi. Kawhi seems to be dropping really, really heavily. Dominique is still in the mix, so, don't forget about him. So you're kind of losing out if you do that. So, I mean, look, there is MT making possibilities here, but you need to understand the risks. But it is a good non-TOS way of MT making. It's probably one of the most consistent ways that we've been given this year. So if you don't want to break TOS, you got the extra money to spend, it's not a horrible idea to kind of swap currencies there, though I don't necessarily think it's a great value personally. It's a better value than opening a 20 box. I mean, look, 100K is not getting you a 20 box. 100K is it even giving you a 10 box? No, I don't think so, right? Let me verify. Let's see. I want to see what the Transcendent packs were. Yeah, I mean, it gets you a 10 pack. It's definitely better than opening a 10 pack from an MT standpoint, for sure. Even if you liquidate every single thing that you receive from that, you're still looking like you're getting more MT by doing this than you would be from dropping like a 10 pack, right? So from that perspective, it's definitely better. I mean, obviously, it's cheaper than even getting a 10 pack of super packs, and you have better odds in doing so, considering you would be opening super packs for this exact reason in the first place. So it's not bad by any means, but it is what it is. And it's possible that getting 2 pink diamonds could lead you less MT than just grabbing Paul George, but it is what it is. I mean, you can get like a Hakeem and you can stack up just as much as like Paul George would cost. Other guys would be like DeMar is still going to get you a pretty reasonable amount of MT. Reasonable is kind of not the way I would describe that. He's still going to get you over 500K for sure. There's not very many of them up. So I think that it's not necessarily a bad idea if you have the extra currency of which to burn. Now, that being said, most of us obviously aren't going to want to do that. They're going to want to save VC for next season, but you can trade VC for MT real quick doing this kind of move here. So something to think about. I mean, I'm not saying you should do it. I mean, most people who are going to do it probably have done it already, but something to keep in your back pocket. When do these packs expire? That is an excellent question because I didn't even look. So they're here for about 2 days. So they're here until season 3 starts up, basically. Yeah, I mean, I think this is a good thing. And if they keep doing stuff like this will be good. This is going to drop the value on a lot of guys. But just be wary of the fact that it's very possible you get a season 1 card and you're going to be liquidating VC for probably less MT than you spent VC. Like, if you get Chris Middleton and you have to sell him for 85K, like, that's about what 77K is what you're actually going to get. So you're trading 100K VC for 33K less MT, and that is a horrible trade-off. But you run the risk on that one because you could make out kind of like a bandit, with like a DeMar DeRozan type beat, and it's about $25 that you're spending. So I don't know, man. I don't recommend doing it, but I can also say that it's not the worst value in the world. The other key is to look out for batched up versions of these cards because you're going to be able to get them for cheaper. The fact of the matter is, what this signifies to me is that the Pink Diamond Power Reign is done, which we already kind of knew with Paul George, but this is indicating to me that not only is the Pink Diamond Power Reign done, which we already knew, like I said, but this indicates to me that Pink Diamonds are about to be just kind of worthless at this point from like a top tier perspective, right? Like, what this indicates to me is that power scaling is going to change massively. And I mean, look, realistically, Tim Duncan and Dr. J are two of the best cards in the game right now from the updates that we've seen. And these cards probably aren't going to be meta for too much longer. Like, they probably are going to power scale these bad boys straight out the window. So I would just pump your brakes on it. Maybe just give yourself a little bit of time to breathe and think about it. Like, man, should I even do this? And I would say, if you're doing it to improve your team, no. If you're doing it to make MT, it's a decent way to do that. It just really depends what your intentions are and what you want to gain from this. As always, it's been your friend Cheap Loot. Look, I'll be dropping consistent content this week. I'll be chilling. It is what it is. Not streaming later tonight just because I've had some stuff to do. So shout out to everybody that wanted to play Triple Threat Co-op. Sorry, I'm not available. My bad, dude. Shout out to 2K for giving us a Vodka Zubac, dude. Super sick. Why not? It's fine. I'm excited to see what we're going to get. in season 3, because I feel like from a power scale perspective, it's going to blow pretty much everything we have out of the water. The overalls in the badge counts will be similar to what we've seen, but what they're going to be doing is they're going to be juicing SIGs. Like, that's the key, right? Like, we're going to get more cards that are similar to, like, Tim Thomas coming in season 3. We're obviously going to have more opals, which is going to be cards that SIGs wise aren't really that cracked, but you know, they're going to be selling due to name. And then we're going to have some Tim Thomas, Ricky Davis type cards, which have cracked SIGs, but like the name brand isn't really there. You know, they're like great value NBA players, but they're going to be actually the most cracked. So it's something interesting to kind of look at. We are getting a new takeover tomorrow, so I'll go ahead and cover that when it happens. We're not getting another glitch set. They would have teased it already. So, hey, have a good night, you guys. For real. Peace.